Good. Camera's up. You're not getting all of my lights on. Let me just share real quick.
My camera broke yesterday.
It's okay. That one. You got me?
Got ya.
Hello, I will be glowing because I don't have lights on. Okay, so you said you were a little bit concerned that you were burden on the team or not keeping up with the rest of the team, right?
Yeah,
Do you still feel like that after the last scrim?
I do.
Cool, no problem at all. Could you talk to me a little bit more about that? How do you feel?
Well, everyone's like improving and stuff, and all have already played like really high.
Yeah.
I went from I think 3.8's the highest I'd ever played before this team,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
and so like jumping from 3.8 to it was like 4.3.
Yeah, no
It feels
problem.
like quite a big jump.
No, it is a big jump.
And with what we've been learning, or with what I've been learning, like like going with hit scans and whatever, it changes from kind of just what I understood of Lucio, and it's throwing
Yeah,
me
I
off. So
mean,
I'm like questioning my basics now.
yeah, 3.8 Lucio's basically press the speed button whenever something happens, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what 3.8 Lucio is. Okay, so quick question, just to root you, with this kind of like big picture push pull or go wide strategy, right? Like your team's either going to be a wide team, right, or it's going to be a narrow team. Very simple. How do you decide whether you're wide or narrow? Well, it depends on the map and depends on if they're wider than you are, right? If they're wider than you are, you sweep an angle instead, right? It's pretty simple. And then while you're doing that sweep on an angle, you try and push something else. In terms of how your team is currently playing and what the advantage or disadvantage state on the field is, I'm going to give you a couple of situations. You're going to tell me whether you're going to look at going wide or narrow in a broad sense. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through. Okay, right. Look at the ultimate type situation right here. Are you looking to be wide or narrow right now? Don't care about the field, just care about the ultimates at the top.
Probably narrow
Why are you trying to play narrow?
because we have copy
Because we have copy. How does playing narrow help
and
copy?
rush.
Okay. How does playing narrow help Kitsune?
Well, if we're wide, then Kitsune it's like split between.
Yep,
There'll be
100%.
two people on two different
So,
angles.
touchstones here. If you have Kitsune, if you have a beat, if you have a couple of other alts that are really good in location-based stuff, rally and stuff like that, you're going to play a little bit more narrow. And when I say narrow, what I really mean is you two are going to be together. Right, that's really narrow. Everyone else can play however the fuck they want, but if the supports are together, you're playing narrow. You're playing push or pull, right? And so all comps do play narrow depending on the game state, but in neutral, right, with no ultimates on the field, the brawl team's going to be going here, and the poke team or the wide team's going to be going here, right? They're going to be swinging in that way and swinging out that way away from the brawl. Cool. So if you have beat, I want you to be playing narrow because beat generally tends to fucking miss people if you're playing wide. I'm going to be honest. Generally, as a good point of thumb, you'll always play narrow when you have beat. If you have a Kitsune, you'll always play narrow. Now, what happens if you have overclock?
I'd say wide because you can do it on an angle.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So if you have overclock, you can make that solution better by playing wide. Interesting, right? If there is an angle for the Sojourn to play for the overclock, we might go push that Sojourn in. We might not. We might say, you know what, Sojourn? Fuck you, right? You get the Kiri, right? And then we play as the Brawl Core and we go in. But in general, the idea is if the Sojourn's the win condition, we want some support on the Sojourn. Okay? Pretty simples. I'm not going to go that much more in depth as to exactly when and where. Quite frankly, I don't think Tracer and Lucio are that great together just because they don't want to do the same thing. Tracer and Lucio is kind of like this niche comp that you do need to know how to play together. But what I want you to remember is that Tracer's very good at capitalizing on the damage, and so is Lucio. But they're not very good at doing that first bit of damage, right? So, like, for instance, Kiriko gets a kunai headshot. Tracer follows up and murders someone. Wu Yang gets a left click on someone, Tracer follows up and murders them, right? Or alternatively, if you're on Lucio, Genji gets a dash on someone. You follow up with your body, right? So realistically, in terms of pairings, you're more likely to go for the bursties type stuff, so you can capitalize on the bursty type stuff rather than the gradual type stuff or the movement type stuff, right? And obviously, the less maneuverable they are, the better it is to be with them. So that's really the start of it. That's the start of wide versus narrow in your mind. Any questions about that bit?
No, I think I got it.
Cool. So just to drill it in, we're gonna do 2 more examples of just like game states. That is a state with no ultimates. Okay, let's go here. If this was, let's say the Sojourn still has the ult we just before this fight, that's still there, and you have nothing, are you going to be looking to, and obviously this depends on your team comp.
Your mic out there.
Oh, sorry, man. Are you going to be looking to play wide or narrow based on the current ultimate status and the heroes on the field?
I think if this was the start of a fight,
Yep.
you'd probably look to play narrow because you're close to rush, but they also have rush. So if we know that, then we'd go wide.
Good.
Because they also have Sojourn as well.
Yeah, nice. So basically what I'm saying is we're going to want to deny their angles, but realistically, and when I say narrow, I don't mean just give up all angles. I mean we play with the other support, right? Like this is going to be a situation where they're going to be heavily advantaged in this fight. They're going to be using a lot of shit into us. We're going to need to cut it out. You don't want to use the TP and the Suzu instantly, so you're going to be playing a little bit more narrow. Let's do one more. So remember, lots of ults on the field, heavily advantage, heavily disadvantage, play more narrow. And if you have a couple of very important ults, you play narrow. Are you playing wide or narrow?
On this one?
Yeah.
I think it's a different map.
Yeah, all the way over here. Doesn't matter. You playing wide or narrow?
We are playing... They have a lot of ults. I feel like it's a bit more difficult with how many ults there are on the field.
Yeah. I think it's simpler.
So
at some point in this fight, you're going to be using beat, they're going to be using beat. When that happens, we want to be spaced out properly. So we're going to be playing a little bit more narrow. Right? At some point in this fight, we're going to use Kitsune, so are they. So we're going to be wanting to play a little bit more narrow into our Kitsune. Now, if we say we're in an even fight, sure, like even fight, we're more likely to be taking something wide and trying to go for something cheeky. But I think realistically, right now, you probably want it to be playing a little bit more narrow. So this point in particular, this is a great Kiriko Tracer duo point. Why is that? Why does Kiriko tend to play together with Tracer on this point in particular?
I'm not actually sure.
Because there's this stupid thing over here that we have to care about.
Oh, yeah. The point.
Because Kiriko can stand on point with Tracer and not fucking die. Right? Very simple. Tracer can stand on point. She can do whatever she wants. Kiriko can also stand there and she can simply just TP out if she desires to. Right? So quite a lot of the time you'll find Tracer Kiriko on the side. They also pair up very well together. And you'll be playing opposite angle, or you'll be playing with Yis, or be playing a bit more wide there. So just a couple of things, right? Objective pressure does matter, especially when you're playing a wide comp. You need to know who's going to touch the point. Sometimes it will be you, sometimes it won't be you, depending on the situation. For instance, a very deep objective where there's no escape route, Kiriko's more likely to play that because they can +1 there without dying instantly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a lot of theory. Sorry to hit you with it very hard. But that's really more or less what you're looking for. Everything else is a little bit more contextual and really relies on the game plan. So me and Yis went for a couple of days ago, shot calling. I do not know if Yis is going to stick as shot caller. I don't care if Yis sticks as shot caller. I want him to be very aware of what we're looking for, though. So what matters when you're selecting a shot caller for your team? Do you think, Nata?
Like the vocal presence.
Yeah,
I think
Being able to yell
They
at
got
people.
yeah,
And
and
one more other thing that is related to what character they're playing.
they're able to see a lot.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So the only person that I really don't want shot calling is Tracer, because they can't see
Yeah.
shit. They can scout, but they can't see, right? So anyone else can do this. And if you wanted it to be you, it could be you if you don't think you'll bring other value to the team, right? Carly's currently doing alt track. Carly's also playing the more mechanically focused like hero. Let's be honest, they're playing the OP bitch, but you're not. You're playing the more press the button at the right time kind of guy. So do you want to just go through a couple of fights and just use that as a lens? How are
We could do
you
it on
feeling?
the third point
Of
because
course we
I
can.
went through it with it was a different Ilios. I think it was the day before with Ty and Carl, and they said I'd do basically nothing.
Just
Like I'm
assume
just
that
kind of present.
yeah, just assume that the people on your team more or less don't know what they're talking about as a basis, and we'll go from there. If I say you're doing nothing, you're doing nothing. If they say you're doing nothing, they feel like you're doing nothing most of the time. I don't trust other
I've been
people.
we went through it, and I was told to stop face checking people. So I'm keeping that in mind now because I do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sure.
so my duel, like just to duel a bit better.
In what
If I can,
situations would you want to face check somebody?
I feel like there's more than just me going after someone.
Exactly, right? Kiriko hits a kunai, you get a Sojin rail, right? That's when you face check somebody. You face check off contact with something sharp. So you are. It's a hard role because you want to play reactive, but you're a momentum hero. How do you play reactive based on momentum hero? Well, it's difficult. You have to be correctly spaced and you have to play your character properly. So what is the default plan here? What are we doing? You're gonna need to give me a rough game plan.
Um,
We're playing Winston. We're playing Tracer Echo, and they are playing Diva with Farah Sojourn.
I think we wanted to take the left side with the Echo.
Left side with Echo? Who's
I
taking
think that
left
plan
side with Echo?
changes me, I believe,
Okay, no
if I'm
problem.
remembering it correctly. And
Yep.
then,
Which means Cardi's
uh,
going right side with Kote.
yeah, and
Remember,
I think the plan changed really quick.
okay, no problem at all. Yeah, so remember, if you're playing the less maneuverable comp, generally you're going to be playing the more maneuverable comp. Sorry, you're going to be playing wide. Why does the more maneuverable comp tend to play wide?
They can move along it easier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to like put that into words,
Yep.
but they can just
Because
take it easier.
that can rotate and overload an angle, right?
Yeah.
So overloading an angle is something you're going to have to learn as time goes on. Essentially, what that is that if you and Zeppelin go here, and then the Kiri TP's over, you can break this while Kote just cuts, right? Very, very simple thing. Overloading an angle is really common. Or you can say, fuck it, my Echo's fine. 1, 2, and get into their fight. So basically, you want to gain this space and then look to see if you can do something else, right? What does your presence give an Echo?
Just an extra body, really,
Mm-hmm.
and the obvious speed, so
Yep.
she can
Extra
kite a lot
body,
easier.
and they can walk
Yeah.
into empty space faster. That's all it gives
Yeah.
them, realistically. It gives them a little bit of healing, but let's be honest, they're playing bursty anyway. They're not going to wait for your 15 health per second or whatever the fuck it is now. So you're looking to make impact in other places once you've won your angle. Why are we here?
I might have got the
Miscommunication?
call wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been to go right then.
And just think about this here. If you are here, right, like with this Echo, that Diva just leaves, quite frankly. Like, they do actually just leave, don't they?
Yeah.
So we're on right. I don't know what the call is here. Yis is doing some interesting jumps. I'm just going to let this play out from the point that you are, because I think you're just going to end up contributing wherever you can. Interesting point. What is Zeppelin currently doing? Standing in the middle of fucking nowhere. They don't have their angle. They don't have the space. Remember, they want to be here, right? Yis jumped here. Okay? So as set plays, just remember your set position, your average position is going to be with the flex, unless ... right? Tracer Kiri is
feel-
very strong together.
I feel like when I play, I'm very late to everything. Like even there,
Yeah.
we saw the either dive, and I went to go cover, but by the time I actually got there,
Yeah,
she was
you've got to
demeched.
predict things. It's very difficult to do. This game's moving fucking fast. It will just come with time. There's nothing to drill here. There's no more attention to give. We'll look at this from third person, right? That goes in. He's just putting pressure on here in order to try and force TP/resources out the Winston. He is giving you space right here. That's what he's doing. He's doing this because the Winston hasn't traded. Okay. So we push out angle. We're a little bit late on pushing out angle, I'm gonna say. He does because he's a bit dumb sometimes. It happens to the best of us. We push in. At this point, I'd probably just say overload that angle with Tracer. Right? We got 3 on this angle. Tracer starts sweeping through. I'd probably just follow her. You probably just want to just stay pushing this. Remember, Cardi loves being with Kote because Kote can capitalize on the things that Cardi does. But you love being where the damage is. And Cardi is a hit scam regardless, right? Cardi's good on his own if he's able to be around. And also, the further you are from Cardi, the better the TP targets are. So I probably just would have overloaded it, kept going.
Yeah.
And then you see that, you would have found the next target for Kote. You're very maneuverable comp. You do not need to babysit Cardi. Cardi is on his own, I'm going to be honest. Unless we're playing narrow, right? Do you want to play narrow right now? Yeah. Cool. Right, so you end up on Zeppelin. This is just a good target to be on because he's feeding. Well, he's feeding, but nobody shot him. Happens. So, let's go from here. Was there a call here? Was there a target call?
I don't even remember half the comms.
Okay, no problem at all. Is there anywhere else for you to be apart from just in the melee providing amp?
I guess if one of the DPS take another angle, because we want to play wide.
There you go. Yeah, 100%. You want to play wide, but you're advantaged. When you're advantaged, all the wide crushes in, and you just go on to the whatever targets you can go on to. Remember, we're playing wide with speed. If we break something, for instance, breaking mech, we can just go. So right now, you're just going on to whatever target's available. Absolutely fine to be here. Full amp, beautiful stuff. Why do we play wide? Out of curiosity, what is the win condition for a wide team?
Setting up and then collapsing.
No.
Win the angle, so
win the angle,
they
yeah.
can't get the angle,
Why do we win the angle?
so they don't have it. It's just my
Yes,
guess.
true. So they don't have it, and because when we got angles, the enemy tend to die at random. The win condition for these ends up being obviously you do an execution with yes, but if Cardi and Kote are in the right place, you're going to start getting backline. If you and Zeppelin are in the right place, you're going to start getting backline. Okay. The win condition for a wide team is kills into the brawl team. Obviously, you want to win the map control first, but you're going to end up with kills. What's the win condition for a narrow team?
Catching them in the rotation to the wide.
Running someone down. Lovely.
Yeah.
When do you want to run someone down?
When they're about to do something, or after they've done something.
When they're about to, in terms of advantage or disadvantage state, right? If we're playing about even, like this is even, right? When do we want to run someone down? When do we want to just say, fuck it, everyone on this angle, let's go this way?
After a cooldown.
After cooldowns, yeah. So what I'm looking for here is if you're advantaged, okay? If you're generally advantaged, just screw the strategy. You've got your advantage. You get your advantage through playing wide. Then you capitalize on that advantage by just gunning at someone, all right? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm not asking very good prompting questions today. I only just have my tea. Right. So where we're going to be playing? Any idea where we're setting up for? I know Yes likes jumping like these kind of places quite deep.
Yeah, I think we're going to catch them where that Favret is now. I think was aim is after they try to move away from that, we'll catch them.
Why is Cardi
Like
playing in
that.
Narnia? What's he doing? What's he doing?
Nobody can answer that one.
Okay,
Then I back
so
up as well.
I think this is pretty obvious. Traitor has to play on their own. You probably has to play with Zeppelin here.
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
thinking that.
So right here, you need to swap angle. Cardi is very good on their own because if they gun it at Cardi, what happens?
TPs.
He said, all right, I guess, sure, why not? And then we still got the pins of Urquhart, right? Your job as a wide team is to trap them in the boa constrictor and keep them in the boa constrictor. Their job as a narrow team is to shrug off an angle. And when they shrug off an angle, what you do is Cardi TPs out and goes straight back into that angle. And Kote comes around here and pushes on the other side, right? We keep the boa constrictor on them until something breaks or we find maybe a headshot kunai, maybe Zeppelin finds something, maybe Kote finds some of the one clip. Maybe Yis just breaks something. Maybe he just says, fuck it. He's a very good tank player. He knows when he can break things. And he just says, screw it, they're in rotation, they're in an awkward spot, let's go. And if you ever ask how you know if you're wide or narrow, or you should play wide or narrow, is wider or narrow really? It's not really wide or narrow.
Yeah.
If you can beat the wide fight, you're going to do that, right? If you're advantage in the narrow fight, you're going to do that. So, yeah. What a mess. What a mess. So, you see they shrug off the boa constrictor here? Right? You've been shook. How did you get shook? Well, you just kind of walked into bad places. So, right here. Boa constrictor's on. We're happy. Zeppelin's over here. If you go on this side, you start spamming them out. There's no way Farah pushes this. There's no way Lucio pushes this. They'll just die. Zeppelin keeps using cooldowns, keeps getting space. They swing your angle, and then you back off.
I think there, instead of cutting to Cardi, I probably should have just gone over to the Echo.
Yep.
Like, instead of stopping at Cardi, just continue my rotation.
Yeah, agreed entirely, right? You want to be, and when you're playing wide, as far away from Cardi as possible. Well, you want to be in TP range, but yeah, you want to be as far away from here as possible. So you want to be over here, staging here, and you want to be looking to go this way with Yes. And then, you remember overloading an angle, we got all this on the angle, right? So we're going to dance faster than they dance because they're stupid. These teams are not particularly good, I'm going to be honest. They're going to leave people behind. They're going to play like idiots. They're going to leave people that should be able to kite, and they just won't press their buttons. You see this Sojourn, right? What are we doing? What are we doing? So, like, come on. He just slid into a wall. Like, this guy dies pretty damn fast. So what we did is we said, the enemy team's disadvantage. I actually have no idea what the fuck these two people are doing. This is such a mess. What's Cardi up to? Let's just watch Cardi see how this evolved from his point of view. So Zeppelin's ages out. Now he's in. We're pushing that. Cardi needs to give space here, pretty obviously. Cardi needs probably... It's a little bit awkward. This is the right position for Cardi. We need to chill here. Now we need to give space hard, right? We give space, give space, give space. And then we TP to the other angle. Where does Cardi go to? Oh, actually delay it. And we've abandoned D.Va in the middle of fuck all nowhere, right? I am so happy to abandon a D.Va in the middle of fuck all nowhere. That is so good for me. So Cardi ends up here, right? Overloaded angle. Just think what would happen if you could have amped speed onto Yes just then, right? Oh, that would have been good. Cool. So they take this. Go ahead.
Where was Yes?
So Yes was here, and he went that way. Okay. And then Zeppelin was up here. You want me to go back so you can see?
Yeah, please.
There you go. So if we're playing here, we get to go that way. Or if we're playing out here...
You can chase the silly slide then.
Exactly. If we're playing out here, we get to go this way still. We just get to go in. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go next fight. And to be clear, you're going to do all of this correctly by the time we're finished, and you're still going to not feel like you're carrying games because it's not very feelable as Lucio, whether you're in the right place at the right time. You will get more kills, don't get me wrong. You will find all these squishy targets, but it won't feel like you're carrying the game because your job is to contribute to other people doing their jobs. Ba, ba, ba. I think Yiss is more comfortable on dive than he is on other things. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we should push dive as much as we can. Now, the alternate is it's hard. Like, Lucio is just so good, and Kiri's so good. You could play a less flexible comp, but really, Lucio Kiri is just ridiculous. Kiri is just overpowered. Lucio's been overpowered since the game came out. It's hard to say no to Lucio Kiri, to be honest. Just the ability to TP, like stranding that diva there, utterly ridiculous in terms of value. Okay. This is a bit weird.
No,
Are
we're
we
playing
gonna?
narrow.
Yeah, we're playing narrow. Why are we playing narrow? Let's assume that the Lucio's still alive. Let's go back a couple of seconds, right? Because they just outplayed. That was a mechanics thing. Let's assume the Lucio's not feeding for no reason in particular. Look at this goober, right? Look at this fucking goober. Why are we going to play narrow here?
Because we're chasing them two.
If you're chasing someone, go for it. You got an advantage, capitalize on it.
I think we went to collapse on the Lucio, right?
So you think you've got enough value from the wide, so you're going back to narrow. Wonderful.
Yeah, okay.
Your job with the flex DPS is to push that angle, maybe put your presence to hold them in that angle, and then allow them to capitalize on that angle. Or to leave them there so you can go narrow. And you mostly capitalize on that angle, not with your auras, but with your damage. If you're not doing much with your damage, you can probably piss off someone else, especially if they're not moving. Cool. Right, so shall I ask you about this? Did they just remake, or they just remeked? There's no other support. You're just doing whatever you need to do.
With I did actually have a question in mind. I just remembered.
Of course.
When we play wide,
yes.
Well, I'm being told to just try and build beat as quick as I can, but when I'm playing wide, I'm just not building it at all.
That's true. They need to shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay.
They're doing a strategy that you can only really use while you're playing narrow. You should be greedy for ult charge. Don't get me wrong, but I mean it is what it is. Like, do your job. Like, get the space, get the neutral advantage, then build the resource advantage after that. Don't worry about them. They don't know how to play Lucio. They know they've seen people play Lucio in these narrow comps, right? Everyone's seen what is it? What's the Nepal map inside where it's got that little it's got the pit but it's got the high ground on the right.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen someone amp there and get 50% charge, right? But that's not playing wide, that's playing narrow. So yeah, just generally ignore them, do your job. +1, especially when it matters on these fights where it does matter. People have just come back. Where do we want to be right now?
With Kote.
With Kote? Why do we want to be with Kote?
Or Zeppelin, because they're both gonna push out this tracer.
Okay, go find your DPS.
So if I can +1 on any of them, I was thinking Kote because the tracer's obviously going to try and go back to his team.
Yeah, if I had complete control, do you know what I'd do? I'd TP him over there. But if he's not going to do it, why don't we do it? We got momentum. We can be where we want to be, right? If Cardi's over here and you're over here, that's not much worse. And remember, Tracer Lucio. What's Tracer Lucio actually good at? Right? It's not that good as a duo, but what is it good at?
How did you word it? It's I can't remember the word. It was just capitalizing on chances and damage.
Capitalizing on chance of damage and being very fucking fast, right? It can sweep an angle incredibly fast, right? If you get Tracer Lucio here, you can sweep a whole angle in like 5 seconds, right? You can develop the map incredibly fast. That's one of the things you're looking for. And then like obviously it capitalizes on damage, right? Cardi and Zeppelin together, they're going to do a shitload of disruption into the enemy team. And if you're both there, you're going to be able to capitalize on it. They're both good at that. But right now, we're just going to use it to sweep an angle. If you instantly went to Kote, right, you just went, fuck it, amp speed, This guy just dies. You just hunt him down. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like he just actually dies. That doesn't even happen if Cardi goes to him. And now we're spending all of our time fucking around, quite frankly. Hey, we got him. Where do you want to be?
With Zeppelin.
You want to be with Zeppelin?
On first guess, because I was just
on first guess.
So
Sure.
I thought if I guess quickly, like I'm still in the game.
If you could fight plan this, what would your fight plan be?
Well, going off of the last fight, I'd probably want to start with Zeppelin, move over to Yes.
No, fight plan for the team.
Oh, for the whole team. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Probably go same again. Just wait for them to cross that bridge.
Wait for them to cross the bridge, and
then
you know what their ults are. You know what your ults are. Just to be clear.
Oh, okay. We do know this.
Well,
they're probably going to look to rush.
Rush who? Where?
I actually don't know how they would use rush. Maybe in cage. Maybe they look to cage it. Like go under and then cage, or and we can't match beat, so kite the beat.
We can't match beat to kite the beat. Why don't we force beat? Why don't we play first from angles, force beat, play to kite, force beat, right?
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. Or we could say fast Kitsune, try and force beat, and then back, right? That sort of stuff. You're looking for your ult, but you're also looking to do enough damage to that Lucio. You're looking to Ajax him. Whenever Lucio ults up, generally you're looking to Ajax. So we go over here. Lovely. There's a Lucio. We've got scouting. Lucio left-hand side. And this all depends on good information, right? You might have bad information. Oh, that's nice. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
What are they doing? They just think they can go anywhere? And then your team decides to overload an angle because they fed. This Lucio, man. This Scuba. The enemy team's Lucio is such a goober. So where was the call? Why did Yis go somewhere else? Was he calling something different?
I don't even remember. Let me see what he was.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. It's a little low.
Does he see the diva?
It looks like the diva's gonna fly in a second, right? Man, I will every time here take a stupid cheeky fight on an angle, right? Because the enemy team's playing Tracer. Like, the enemy team's playing Tracer Sojourn. Like, they can barely even contribute to this. Like, you're literally picking a fight with 3 of them when 4 of you can fight. This is a great fight. You just peel here.
Yeah, I think.
Look at that Sojourn fucking about in the middle of nowhere. He's like, they're fighting. What do I do? Oh. Yeah. I don't think you did anything bad there. So it turned out that we ended up playing narrow because we peeled. Now that's something happens quite often. When you peel backwards for somebody, that counts as a narrow fight because beat and Kitsune and that sort of stuff are going to be very useful. So with beat and Kitsune, you can play second and you can play from wide to second because everyone will just dive back to the place you want to go to. Unless the enemy team's like full brawling into it, then you obviously you don't want to as much. Are we kiting? Looks like we're kiting. I think we lost a couple of people. Yeah, we lost. No, we didn't lose people. Why are we all the way out?
I was just about to ask that. I don't think I'm even looking for the Echo at all. I'm not even looking to pair with her. So I like walk away, and I'm not even like checking to see where they are after that.
The Echo. Oh, they pushed that way. I'll be honest, Zeppelin's a little scaredy cat. Little scaredy baby scaredy cat. Like walking all the way back here. Why? I know we're kiting, don't get me wrong. They got double support ult, we're gonna need to kite it. They probably called that they got overclock as well, but you start from playing wide here regardless, don't we?
Yeah.
And it'd be so nice if Cardi wasn't fucking around. Look at this Cardi guy. Okay, we're happy. Good, we're overloading this angle, but we've overloaded it as much as we can. We're not getting any more value. Okay, what we're going to do now... Okay, we've pushed out mid. Kose goes right. Oh, I always go right here. man. I always go right here. I'd be playing up here. Imagine, right, this here. We'd be so happy to play this.
And then when he pushes in, he's got like the angle to follow up with as well.
Yeah, 100%. You start looking for kunais. One headshot lands, straight in for Kote. That's why it's so good, because he can capitalize on your damage. Now, what's happening with the rest of the team? I mean, we're just going to give this angle if they want to fight this. We'll just give this angle. Who cares? We're going to wrap around. But instead, Cardi's on main ? So when we're pushing and pulling, we don't need to do it like linearly, right? We don't need to stand in a group and push and pull. We can play to kite and it not be like a group up, unless we want to use an ult in order to kite it, right? If we say stand in a straight line, bait them, and go backwards, that's fine-ish. But realistically, there's no reason to ever there's no reason to unconstrict the boa and the Ouroboros if they don't make you, right? So like I'm thinking, right, Zeppelin's right here. Cardi's right here. If I can just TP people around. Oh my god, there's a Sojourn for free. I am so happy there's a Sojourn for free. They're trying to play narrow, right? They're trying to force the map. Well, we got 3 here. We'll just walk backwards. What's the issue?
If they rush, then
yeah,
it kind of like hints it in.
We walk backwards, and that wins, and we just go that way. Whatever. We'll just take your Sojourn. If the Sojourn wants to be here, we'll go straight backwards, but Kote and Cardi will just stand on here. We're only playing narrow to absorb pressure if we don't have any other options, or to make the best use of our ultimates. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of a context for why you're doing the things you're doing. I think it's still, I haven't explained it well enough, I'm going to be honest. It's probably still a bit of a mess in your head.
I think I now have the idea of who I want to pair with when we're playing the double flex, because before I was very lost on who to actually stack with.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I think I have a better idea now.
Yeah, just remember, like, you don't stack with them to stay with them. You stack with them to push an angle. You stack with them to use an angle. But if they're going to stand there poking for a little bit, you ain't getting nothing from that. You can go overload another angle. It's no problem. Just tell them you're leaving, right? You're assumed to be with them unless you're leaving. This is a mess. Let's just skip a little bit. You know what? This is last fight. Let's go see if this is staggered last fight. No, this is a good last fight. Good. Click the O button. Right, so, Zeppelin, you and Kote on here. Why are you and Kote on here?
To get the angle.
Was this called? Or is this something you just did?
I think I just went with him because I saw he was on the flank.
Okay, no problem. Why would you do this? With your understanding of why you do things now?
Just to overload that angle. I can get him in quicker, so he doesn't have to waste the blink.
Sweep it fast, right?
Yeah.
Sweep it fast. So you're looking to capitalize on them being stupid and making mistakes. So Lucio's been making mistakes all round. Sweep it fast, and then what are you going to do after that? If we sweep this angle and we miss a Lucio, right? He just has to back.
Well, then you can just jump on them, because 4 of them then are just going to be right next to the cage.
Okay, and what are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm just speeding them there.
You're speeding them there.
Well, I'd be with Kote, I presume.
Yeah, you're gonna play narrow, right? At that point,
yeah.
you're gonna say, "Fuck it, we're going in. I'm playing narrow because we gained an advantage by barreling them into the middle." Okay, so if somebody stupidly over advanced, you can just say, "Push them back, hit them in," and then we got the fight win. Let's see what happens. We got the Lucio. We're gonna have to chill out for a second. Oh, it's so tasty. It's so tasty, man. I was a bit scared about that bomb there.
Yeah, same. I started walking, so I don't have enough time for that, and then she swung on me. I kind of just forgot to track her.
I'm kind of glad that you guys have turned into a dive team that plays a bit wide, because holy shit, coaching push and pull when people don't know what they're doing is difficult. It's so
Yeah.
difficult, man. You have to get each individual person to know how to read tempo and resources and other things like that. Really, any good team should be able to read push and pull because all wide teams turn into push and pull. But if you can learn wide and then go into narrow play, it's a lot easier than the other way around, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Let's just do one random other fight on a point that you didn't want. Oh my god. We've owned them. We've totally owned these lamers.
Ready for battle.
Okay. Cool. So, very simple here. For me, personally, you have two choices, right? You can play narrow, and you can say sweep this, or you can point presence with Tracer and Carry. Those are kind of like your two options. So let's see what ends up happening. We just play, and neither of them are bad options, to be clear. Like, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'd always default to trying to play wide before you go narrow. You notice the downside of their comp with Nordig on the top. Who's going to touch the point on their team? It has to be somebody, right? Who's going to touch the point?
It's looking like Monkey currently.
It's going to have to be Monkey. No, it's not great to have your Monkey all the way over here, is it? We'd rather have a Tracer. We'd rather have a Kiri that can do something from there. So I'm guessing we just sweep top angle. No, it seems like we screwed around for a little bit. Okay. Monkey just jumps high. It'd be so nice to have Cardi and Kote down here, wouldn't it? You'd love this. It'd be so good. And then if that did happen, you play with Yis, and then just you probably try and get some height, play from here, and then just go in with Yis and play around this corner, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Either way, you're just acting as a brawl element, right? Christ, what a mess. Kote and Cardi just playing like stacked with you is and it's all a bit abstract because obviously Echo's flying, so they always have an off angle, so it doesn't matter as much. But if we just replace the Echo with a Sojourn there, you can see how badly stacked you are.
At the start of that fight, had we have played it with Kote and Cardi on point, who do I really stack on? Because and he said about getting the angle in the corner bit, and then I wait for his dive.
Right, so we're playing here. Let's assume that
fine there as well.
Kote and Cardi are about here, right? They've just rolled out the opposite side. They're not going to be much more advanced. Let's just let them advance to more or less when they're going to be on point. Right? So right now, Monkey has two choices, right? Monkey can either push you or he can push them. Okay? If the Monkey pushes them, they kite back here and they just abuse the Monkey. Monkey is sad. Monkey is unhappy because realistically the Monkey should not be able to kill Cardi right now. Like, it's very difficult to them. So realistically, what's going to happen with their team over here is it's going to be a little bit difficult to be able to follow up on this. Really, Tracer would have to be on this angle with Monkey in order to be able to punish it. Now that can happen. We'll see how it happens, but if that does happen, is a situation where, again, like Tracer just gets out. However, Tracer gets out, Cardi TP's out. So first off, just note that this is pretty much unpunishable. Okay? And if they do punish, it involves the Winston coming over here in order to stop it. Okay, so they're over here. The Winston chose this position. They've still chosen the same position. We don't need to be in the small health room because we've got no presence in the small health room. Yis is looking to dive. Personally, I'd just be sitting up here. Let's go back to normal speed because everything just got out of hands real quick.
Yeah, I was thinking that because then I can add the access to the wall.
Okay, so we're just going to play up here.
Just jump off the fence.
We're looking for a quick dive. And we don't need to do a quick dive, right? These two are down here, and they're going to be doing stuff. They're going to be doing work, right? We've got the boa constrictor on them. We are winning by default. They've got the better terrain, right? They've got a better terrain, but they've only got Sojourn using it. Maybe the Tracer tries to push through here with the Winston. Maybe we give a bit of space to that, right? We're here with Lucio, right? Monkey's just going to be very bursty. Just sit here. Let's assume they do what they're currently doing, right? Let's just assume that they're in these positions. This pincer comes straight out here, right? Kote's going to struggle to be able to punish the high ground, but it's simple that we go on the carry. Obviously, we go on the carry. Kiri has to TP somewhere because they just lose that angle. If Kiri TPs, we just keep going, and we're here in like 1 second. So that's how they're gonna adapt. And how you're gonna adapt is you're gonna go there 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna be here. Okay?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
because you've got really divey comp, you're gonna have to stay up, but you're gonna stay up and just kind of like skirt the outside of the map. That's your pathing. Yeah. Yeah. And there wouldn't even be this guy and this guy and this guy to punish with those two. Your team would just be nowhere. And realistically, what would happen is the monkey would realize 2 people are on here and the monkey would jump it. That's realistically what would happen. Nordig was in the wrong place. Nordig was misplaying in my mind. He has no sense being here. He actually gains nothing by being here. Realistically, Sojourn and that sort of stuff should be here, and then Monkey should be trying to peel while the rest go point if you want to play that side. But as you say, they chose to a position where they're narrower than our position. And so we were playing wide, and so we just wait for that to come in, or we capitalize on it. So this has gone way longer than you wanted, and you're probably getting tired at this point, so I will...
I only really had one more question.
Go. Yeah, shoot.
I don't think it shows on this map, but I keep getting told that my beats are really, really late.
Hilarious. Sure.
Because like there was I can immediately think of an example of Runa Sappy when I was on like 30 HP, and they 2 people called for beat because they had beat and I couldn't match it. Well, in my head I'm thinking because I'm on like 15 HP, I don't want to cast it because I'll just be shot down immediately. So I waited until I think I risked it being on 50.
Yeah, I mean, that's just forward planning, to be honest, my man.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing for beat in the fight, you need to be more conservative for the beat. And that's why I say playing narrow. If you're playing wide, your beat's going to be more inconsistent because you're going to get pokeyed. When I say playing narrow, obviously I mean playing your supports together so they're more consistent and they can capitalize on each other's resources.
They also said that if we're looking to use beat, I should be a lot further out of the fight.
Yeah.
So I can.
Yeah, depends.
I don't know, but they said to like just play a lot further back, so I can come in with beat.
Yeah, I mean they will try and force your beat, like 100%. They'll try and force it, and they'll try and Ajax you all the time. That's to be expected. You should be expecting them to be trying to do that. So the way you can prevent Ajaxing is by, say, playing in a safe place like this, where you can pretty much just back off this way downwards. And I play quite a lot of Lucio. I used to be reasonably good at the character back in my day, or just by playing with Cardi. So fuck it, play with Cardi. Cardi shouldn't be here, by the way. Cardi should be up here. But if we had you 3 here, we're playing for beat, right?
Yeah, and that just goes back to playing narrow. Okay.
Yeah, we just go back to playing narrow. Beautiful. And I think you can see how strong the Tracer carry on here is just ridiculous. But obviously the entire game's about pushing the payload, right? Like at a certain point, you can win as many fights as you want, but if we got the point progress and we got the map control, you're gonna have to answer that. This enemy team's full of goobers. We got beat. How are we playing right now?
With beat, well, I'm kind of stacking on Cardi, so I guess that is playing safe.
Yeah,
we're
playing safe, we're playing narrow, and we're sweeping an angle, right? Our idea is to go around here, sweep that, get the Sojourn to piss off this way, so they're all in a group, and make beat matter because of that. Now, they've got ultimates as well. You're heavily disadvantaged. Let's see what happens, right? Let's go 0.75 speed. So we go in for a room. Kote gets recall force because they were way too fucking early. We sweep the Sojourn. Wow, that's a lot of value sweeping that Sojourn with the overclock. Jesus Christ. Playing narrow is really good if the enemy team's bad at pressing buttons, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah.
You can abuse enemy teams by playing narrow. Then, after that, you got a bit lost. I'm going to be honest. If we're sweeping the Sojourn, I suggest you go this way, right, onto the corner point. Ending up in the middle is kind of bad, but That's just a pathing thing. Like you'll be able to control your momentum as time goes on. How long have you spent on Lucio? What's your SR?
I'm level
Something.
37, hero level wise.
Yeah,
Hours played? I'm not sure.
this right here was an obvious go right in retrospect, right?
Yeah.
You go there, you do one skim there, and then you go back a point. And all that time you're turning around in order to drive by. And then if they want to chase you, they can fucking chase you. I don't even like, does it matter? Go for it. So we end up stalled out on point. You got so lost. It's kind of adorable.
Yeah. Well, I know we wanted to use B, so I didn't want to be like away from everyone. I wanted to be able to see everyone.
No, it's absolutely fine to just use B there. You just won this fight through sheer fight planning. They just got absolutely screwed. And if I go onto their team and just give them the coaching for this point, just to see what they could have done better. They're dead. This is before fight, right? What are they playing for? Well, they're playing for narrow, I'd say. They're playing. Maybe we say we're playing off overclock, right? In which case we +1 the overclock, obviously, don't we? It's just pretty standard. Play off overclock, then use Kitsune, right? So let's just Tracer matches. Cool, Tracer's matching. I don't really care about that. It doesn't really matter. But their Lucio's just in the middle of fucking nowhere. You can't play this Sojourn all the way out here without the Lucio on them. Like you just can't. They're just so deep. I don't actually know what they were thinking.
Yeah, then they can't speed away.
But if Lucio's on them, like they're happy with this. They just kite this. Look at that Winston being like, no, don't kill my soldier. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that because this has been way too much. You probably only processed 3/4 of it, so.
No, I got the narrow and the width. I think is the most important thing.
Yeah,
I will keep
100%.
that in mind.
And then from here onwards, I think if you're going to be playing this Echo, which is absolutely fine, I think the Echo Winston comp works really well for you. Stick to the normal pairings unless you're not, right? I really wanted when we first started to drill the opposite because I think the opposite is something you need to know how to do, right? You two yelling at each other to target call when it matters.
Yeah.
But the standard is obviously you with the flex support, right? But yeah, you're gonna be fine. I actually think this team has like really good bones, and I think this can scrim really high quite easily. Yis is
This
very
was
strong.
4 or 5. This one, so I think
Nice.
we didn't even do too bad.
Yeah, Yis is very strong. He's not the best shot caller. He's a little bit quiet and really struggles, but I worked on that a little bit with him. Cardi's incredibly strong, really good. Carte seems really good. Zeppelin's got really good fundamentals. And then all you need to do is gel it together and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay.
It is. I just checked it as well. It's 229 hours on the Lucia.
229? Ah, fair enough. It's nowhere near my hours. Kappa. All right. Any other business?
No, I think that's everything.
Cool. Okay. Have a lovely evening.
You too.
When's the next scrim? Do we have one planned?
Tuesday, Wednesday, I think.
Tuesday,
then we got-
Wednesday. I will not be available tomorrow. I should be available Wednesday night, depending on what happens.
Tuesday,
okay?
Wednesday, potentially Sunday with a ringer.
Okay, no problem. All right. I'll see you soon, man.
See you, man. Thank you.
Cheers.